Now here's a really cool Pong console I came across a couple years ago or so. I found it at an antique mall in Charleston, West Virginia. I remember the road the antique mall was on. At the very end of the road, there was like a park, like a big hill, and then behind that was like a railroad yard. It was right off the main interstate that goes right through that area. I can't remember the name of the antique mall, but it was a really cool place. It had a lot of cool stuff in there. I do remember posting pictures of it back when I went there a couple years ago on my Facebook page. But anyway, I have never seen one of these Pong units before. Now, I had some Unisonic Pong units growing up. The one I remember the most had the slider controls like this, went diagonally, and it had a gun with it, a rifle, for a shooting gallery type game. I wanted to get one of those to make a video on it because that's one of the ones I grew up with. But anyway, I couldn't pass on this when I saw it because I thought it looked so cool. This is the Unisonic Olympian 2600. Comes preloaded with a bunch of different games on here. We have tennis, hockey, squash, practice, soccer, baskets, hoops, grid ball, shoot, and shooting. Pretty awesome. Of course, we have a volume control because it does have the sound coming out of the console, not the TV. Our left and right handicap switches. Set the size of the paddles. Reset to reset the game. On-off power switch. And a speed inhibit switch where we can slow the game down or speed it up. Another cool feature of this is the controllers are full analog. Now, I've always liked this in a Pong machine. Instead of just up and down movement, you can move anywhere on the screen as you move this. I've always liked that. It's one of the things I like on my Fairchild Channel F. The hockey game and the tennis is on there. It allows you to move the paddle all over the place. It's just up and down. I think it adds a lot more dimension to the game when you're able to move it all over the place like that. The analog controls are very responsive. It's built really well inside. Of course, on the controller we have our serve button and we have a reset button on each one. Pretty cool. They do detach. Have a little mechanism here on the side that locks into to take the controllers off. Take this one off over here. Boop. And right there's the unit by itself. It's fairly small. It's not too large. Of course, on the back we have our power connection, 9-volt power in. Here's the RF cable. We'll flip it over and you see the information on the back here. Unisonic Products Corp. Model 0-2600. And it's serial number 10,334. And it takes a 200 milliwatt 9-volt power supply. When I first turned this over, I thought this was a battery compartment. It's not. It's actually for, let me open it up here. You can get your controllers and store the extra cable in here so you don't have a bunch of cable hanging out the back. That's kind of cool. It is a bear putting this thing back on, though, let me tell you. Oh, went on right on that time. Our channel select switch, 3 and 4. So it's pretty basic, not a whole lot to it. So I think the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to hook this up. We can look at some of the games on here. All right, let's turn the power on. Boop. Start with tennis. You can see I can move my guys around here all over the screen. Whee! We select the handicap for the left. We can make it smaller. Right, we can make it smaller. It's pretty cool. So right there's tennis. It's kind of hard to play by myself. Hit the serve button. Oh, oh, oh! And of course we have hockey. That's pretty cool. We have squash. We have practice where you can play by yourself playing squash. Hit serve. Dunk. Cool. And we have soccer, which kind of reminds me of hockey on the old Fairchild Channel F. I like how the guys go all over the play field. That is so cool. Then we have baskets. So basically basketball. So you're trying to get this guy, trying to get the basket over here. This guy tries to get in the basket over there. this ball will just bounce all over the crazy place. So you're not actually catching the ball and shooting it. Hoops is basically the single player version of that game. So ideally, you want to try to get more baskets than what you hit. Oh, I missed it. Ah. And of course we have grid ball, which is kind of cool. You're trying to get the ball to go off to the other side. So the player on the right team wants to get the ball to go off on the left side of the screen, and then vice versa for the other player. Then we have shoot, which is basically like a shooting gallery. You got to try to time your button press with your crosshair on the target in order to get the points. And then shooting is basically the two-player version of the game. Now there's one more switch I haven't shown yet. Let's go back to hockey here. Let's see if I can get it lined up. Hit serve. I get both serve. Serve. Oh, had to reset. Uh-oh. There we go. So I have the speed inhibit. I flip the other way. Right when I got to the freaking switch. It'll speed up the ball. Well, let me go with the hoops. Might be able to show it better on there. I think I gotta clean this switch a bit more. Yeah, I gotta clean the switch. Anyway, when I flip the switch, it would go a whole lot faster than it is right now. There we go. So that's full speed. And flip the switch to hit with the speed. Makes for a much more intense game of hockey. All right. Well, that was just a quick look at the Unisonic Olympian 2600 game console. A really neat Pong machine from the late 70s. Tune in for part 2 where my wife and I will play some of the games on this machine. It'll be hilarious. As always, everyone, thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.